The one thing that I really learned from the class was just really basic record keeping track of the money that I'm spending daily and how it adds up.
Single mom with 2 girls, I realized how important it is to save your money, manage your money for the future.
The most important thing that I learned in this class was how bad debt can get you and mess up your future life if you don't take care of it.
Well, if you compare my finances to a leaky ship, that was pretty much the way it was, and I patched up a few of the leaks with this class.
New Mexico, one of the poorest states in the Union, where the foundation supports extensive financial literacy training programs.
What is good debt?
I was what you would call an instant buyer. I walk into the store and I look around and I start purchasing items that I didn't need. Now, after I took the class, I go to the store and I take my time shopping. I sit there and I tell myself, is this a want or is this a need? And if it's a want, then I put it away. And I've learned how to distinguish between the two.
One of the things that has happened in this project is that we have seen people's behavior change from behavior that is focused on today to behavior that is focused on the future.
I enrolled in the financial literacy class because we wanted a home.
For Leaf Ashley and her husband, Sean, the financial literacy class helped them attain their dream.
Well, look at us. We're not a rich family, but we've got ourselves a home. We've worked our way out of whatever debt that we had, and we're pretty secure. It's not going to be a long paved road. It's going to be pretty hard, but at least now we have some knowledge, behind us that's kind of says, anybody can do it. It's not just for privileged people, it's just anybody.
In San Antonio at the Brooke Army Medical Center, Harry S. Truman is among those financial planners across the country reaching out to help our military and their families with financial planning advice that can offer hope.
There's a young man who, nice-looking fellow, went to Iraq, was married, got blown up, has his arms and legs, thank God, but he got burned rather badly and he's blind. And he doesn't know what to do. We need to assist him any way that we possibly can. The people at BAMC do a wonderful job with the counseling. They're trying to bring people like us in to educate them financially and to keep them strong, whole people. It's a challenge, but it's something I think that's very, very important for us to continue.
In New York, teams of financial planners have been working for years with foundation support to aid 9/11 surviving families, rescuers, and first responders.
After the collapse, it was just a very thick, it's very hard to explain how thick the air was, but after a couple of minutes I realized I wasn't the only one that was alive. I started hearing screams and, people took a couple of minutes to get a little visibility with some flashlights and just climbed over all the trusses and debris and I ran into the chief of the department, the first deputy commissioner, gave him a size of what we had. And being the 4 of us were all off duty, we just had our gear. We had no radios, no masks, nothing, just us. And after a while, I realized the North Tower's coming down. And we just started heading up West Street, a little past Vesey when the North Tower came down. So I got up West Street. That was it, and that was the last day I worked.
Like so many at Ground Zero, Mike Teleska inhaled suffocating particle-filled air and is now fighting for his life.
I received a bulk email from a 9/11 family group that sends out emails and mentioning about the services that are available to 9/11 members. So I decided, let me talk to somebody, put me straight on exactly where I'll be in the future and how to protect my wife. Should I take a pension option out? Is my life insurance enough? And so many questions I needed answered that I looked for help, and it was right there. It was like the same day I decided that I needed help. the email happened to be there, and it was just luck, and I got in touch with Claire.
Working with the 9/11 families has been one of the most rewarding and one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever done.
A lot of people were forced to make financial decisions and deal with assets that they'd never even dreamed of having to deal with before under the most strenuous circumstances. So we were able to step in a very non-threatening way and advise them.
We came together across the country right after 9/11, and the first people who stepped up to fund us was the Foundation for Financial Planning. If they hadn't been there, it wouldn't have kicked off. And they've continued to support the effort, including recently when the Red Cross stopped funding all pro bono efforts for the 9/11 rescuers. So the foundation stepped in and gave us a grant so that we can continue the work for the 10,000 people who've been affected physically by the 9/11 dust cloud.
The fact that somebody's willing to volunteer their services, you know, there are a lot of people that weren't able to help out on 9/11. And here we have people that are still coming through 5 years later, picking up the pieces and helping the people that helped that day. And this is one volunteer way. How do you repay somebody like that? They're giving you their time and their professional experience because they genuinely care about you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be volunteering their time.
We can give our time, we can give our effort, we can use the experience that we've gained over the years to benefit people, but there's things that go beyond that that we can't do. And that is the financial resources that are required to get an organization up and running in a very short period of time. Katrina, 9/11, these are things that come without warning. The money to organize, to get things structured right away has to be there. We can give our time, we can give our effort, but the money has to be there to get the infrastructure in place.
And the foundation is a way to support some of the programs that will allow us to give back to our community. And the community can be local, state, or national.
You know, it doesn't make any difference where you sit in the economic structure, in the political structure, or the social structure. You understand that when low-income people thrive, that community thrives, and we all thrive.
When I hear the stories from the recipients of our services or planners providing assistance, it affirms that I am a part of a profession making a positive difference in the lives of others. The foundation is helping to make this happen. I'm honored to be a supporter of this very worthy cause, and I hope you will join me.